Welcome back again, students. This is just a quick little demo on how you can do stacking layers to make 3D parts. So this is just a demo, so you should not be copying this. This is just a little box I'm starting with. And then I'm just going to keep adding layers here and extruding them. So started with a little piece there, and I'm extruding this. I'm extruding that shape. And each time I'm doing this, we're using the thickness of the wood, right? So the thickness of the wood that we're using is 0.25. If we're using paper, that we can also put in the laser cutter, that's going to be a different thickness that you can find on our website. So there's my first layer. That's like the background piece. If you're thinking of this like a diorama or a picture frame maybe. So then I'm starting a new sketch again. I'm going to start a new sketch each time, and I'm selecting where I'd like to put this sketch. I want to put it right on that top surface there, and maybe this time I want to make like a nice little frame in there. Hopefully you are going to center this a little better. I'm doing this fast, and maybe I want a little arc so it looks like the sun is shining, and or the moon, or whatever you want to think of this as. And maybe I want a little tent here or something like that. Who knows what's going on there. All right, and then I'm unselecting that. And then, so every time I draw something, I'm going to select done, and I'm going to extrude it each time. And I'm going to select on the parts that I want to extrude. I recommend, if you're doing a frame, keep them attached to that side wall. It's going to make things easier. And then each time you're going to have a new part. Excuse me. Let's try that one more time. When I extrude this, something I forgot to do is I'm clicking all those pieces, and we want to say new. So a second ago I had that as add. We're going to say new. Make sure it's a new piece each time because we want to have a new layer. Sometimes it tries to add them together. And I'm making that 0.125. Again, it's the thickness. If you're using paper, it's something different. And you can start to see here, I'm stacking up these layers, and I can kind of start building like a diorama, essentially. So let's start another sketch here. So again, I'm new sketch. I'm selecting the surface that I was just working on a moment ago. And maybe this time I want to have this rectangle here again. And this time maybe I want to have the moon or whatever getting a little smaller. So we're just having a little fun here, and maybe this tent should have some sort of cool little tent, small opening there. It's really up to you. And then I'm repeating this, same steps as before. I'm saying extrude, and I'm clicking these pieces this time. Remember, I need to push new, and you can see I'm starting to build. Oop, I made a mistake, didn't I? That's all right. I expect you guys to make mistakes. Now let's go back to that extrude, because I can see it's way too thick, isn't it? So if you make a mistake, you can always come back in the history here of what you've done and make some changes. Great example of what we want to be doing here. And you can see now I changed that to 1/8 of an inch. And look at that. I'm starting to stack up these layers to make some cool shape or design or pattern. And you could do all sorts of fun stuff with that. Obviously, you're not just going to copy what I'm doing, but that's how we can stack things to make 3D fun things that can be laser cut as well. All right. Hope this gives you some ideas and some basic guidance on how to start sketching and making 3D stuff.